If the Columbine basement tapes have never been released, how do we know what's on them? There are a small number of people who have officially 100% actually provable have seen them, not people who are running around on the internet saying, oh my god, I saw it on some leaked website, No. And they have revealed to certain extents what was on the tapes. Now, some of these people include, very obviously, the investigators. You have the victims' families. Not all the victims' families saw them. Some of them chose not to. I can very much so understand why. The parents of the assailants, some members of the news and the media, and then a few other people who were connected to the case, such as the Brown family. Now again, remember, we are talking specifically about the basement tapes that were made in the basement of the Harris family home. We're not talking about any school projects, any day in the lives, anything taken from Rampart Range. Those have been released. We're talking about just the basement tapes themselves. First off, we have to take a look at the Columbine report, which is what a lot of people in the Columbine research community, whatever you want to call it, refer to as the 11K, because initially it was said that these files, these police files, all the investigative stuff, was about 11,000 pages long. We're currently sitting at about 26,000, getting close to 27,000 pages that have been released. Well, almost. Not all the pages have been released. There are good chunks that have been redacted, whether it's like full groups of pages or just different parts of different pages. And in those files, there are parts that do talk about, what was in those basement tapes. Now, what's interesting to note is that before the victims' families ever saw the tapes, there was a reporter from Time magazine who was shown the tapes, and he actually wrote a piece about it, and the families of the victims were absolutely pissed off, as they should have been, mind you. We're not judging that. They should have been upset, saying, we didn't even get a chance to see them. These weren't totally confirmed to us, and some guy now gets to see them and write about them when he wasn't directly. They were upset, and the police were like, yo, we did not know that he was going to write this piece about it. We just showed them to him, and that is what brought it so that made it so that the victims' families, so that other members of the media, the assailants' families, as well as the other people who were connected to the case, were able to see them in closed viewings. Some of them have said what was on the tapes. In my video about why I have beef with Daryl Scott, I talk about how he released a portion of the tapes like an audio recording, but he released under very false pretenses. Within what the people have said, when they've spoken out to the media, with what has been, printed in that Time magazine article, and then with what has been put in the parts of the Columbine report that have not been redacted, we have little bits and pieces of what was in those basement tapes. There is a transcript that is around of the basement tapes, but they're not exact words. In fact, they're not even an official transcript. It's been accumulations of pieces that have been put together, and I'm sure that parts of them are actual quotes, but it's not in its entirety an actual official transcript. A lot of things have been summarized. And then a lot of parts have also been redacted, and you cannot find them. For safety and security reasons, a lot of things did have to be redacted, which I wholeheartedly agree with. But yeah, there are some transcripts that are out there, but they're not official transcripts. They haven't been officially released. They've kind of just been pulled together, and they're not exact words by any means, but it gives us an idea.